I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Alright, so Taurus, Ascendant, and Moon Sign. If you'd like to get either a Vedic Astrology or a Tarot reading from me, you can do so at my website. It'll be linked down in the description box below. Alright, Taurus. So, for this transit, Jupiter is going to be moving into Aries on April 21st of this year. So, let's talk about the previous transit before we get into the new transit. So Jupiter was in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces for about the past year. Now Jupiter is your 8th and your 11th lord, which means Jupiter is one of the worst planets for you. Now Jupiter is a natural benefic planet, so even if Jupiter won't bless you, Jupiter will at least protect. Okay. So, back when Jupiter was in your 11th house, Jupiter's in the sign of Pisces, natural sign of the 12th house of loss. But being in the 11th house of gain in its own sign shows that you would have gained a lot financially during the Jupiter transit. It would have overall been very good for you. Your relationship with your elder sibling would have been better this past year, if you have one. You would have made more friends this past year. If you're involved in like large organizations, things would have been good there as well. Your hopes, wishes, desires, you may have achieved some of them during that time. But now let's talk about Jupiter moving into Aries. Okay. So as the 8th and 11th lord moving into the 12th house. So first off, Jupiter represents expansion. It represents protection, blessings. So Jupiter is going to protect you here. But not everything's good. So the 12th house represents loss. And Jupiter is expansion. So Jupiter is literally going to expand your losses here. So you could lose more financially during this time. Also, being the 8th lord of sudden events, you could suddenly travel to a foreign country during this time. 8th house represents the occult. 12th house represents spirituality. You could get into an occult spiritual practice during this time. Now, you could also travel to a foreign place during this time. Also, the events in Aries are going to be very significant because Saturn is aspecting with its third aspect and Rahu's there. Now, Rahu is going to significantly expand the effect of Jupiter. Because while Jupiter represents expansion, so does Rahu. Rahu represents like an explosive energy. So the two of them together with the aspect of Saturn there's going to be a major expansion wherever Jupiter is sitting. So for you that's Aries and that's your 12th house. Now it's not necessarily good. This could also show that your elder sibling or some of your friends might travel to a foreign country. There could be health issues with an elder sibling or a friend as well, because 12th house can represent hospitals, can represent jails, asylums. So if you have friends that are doing illegal things or an elder sibling that's doing something illegal, they could go to jail during this time. Now, you could also lose some friends during this time. That's also possible. But Jupiter overall is going to bless you here. Now, it's not going to be... Jupiter's not always great where it sits, but Jupiter's always good where it aspects. So let's talk about the aspects. So Jupiter's going to aspect your 4th house with its 5th aspect, your 6th house with its 7th aspect, and your 8th house with its 9th aspect. So let's talk about these. So Jupiter is going to aspect Leo, your 4th house. So 4th house represents the home, represents vehicles, it represents your mother. So these people in your life are going to be protected during this time. Your mother would be protected. Your home will, be protected during this time. Your vehicle, Jupiter can protect you from a car accident during this time. Jupiter rules your 8th house of surgeries, your 12th house of hospital. If, for instance, if you were in a car accident, depending on if your planetary or sign-based time period's bad, Jupiter would protect you. You would be able to get a life-saving surgery during this time. Those are the kinds of things that Jupiter can help with. Even if Jupiter's not benefic for you, Jupiter will try to protect you. Also, Jupiter aspects your 6th house. 6th house represents maternal aunts or uncles. It represents pets. So you could get a new pet during this time. It represents competition, enemies. So you'll be protected from your enemies during this time. Also health issues, like I said, so Jupiter will try to help you overcome these health issues. But here's the negative thing with this. Jupiter is expansion, and 6th house can represent debt. So Jupiter can expand your debt. Now, Jupiter tends to have more of an expansive aspect where it sits, though. So I'd be more worried about losses during this time than debt. Now, one good thing with Jupiter being the 11th lord in the 12th house, by the way, is if you have business with foreigners or with foreign companies, you can actually gain financially through those sources. But if it's not through those sources, then you're not necessarily likely to. Now, Jupiter is also going to have an aspect on Sagittarius, your 8th house. So like I said, if you need a surgery, Jupiter can allow you to get that during this time. Now, 8th house is also your in-laws. It's your married life. It's life with your sexual partner that you live with. It's joint finances in both business and relationships. So Jupiter is going to protect these areas of life, especially because Sagittarius is the sign Jupiter rules. So overall, Jupiter will mostly be good for you. Also, Jupiter is sitting in the 12th house of spirituality, aspecting the 8th house of the occult. So, I believe I mentioned this earlier, you could begin some kind of occult spiritual practice. But yeah, overall, this transit will be okay for you. As a matter of fact, Jupiter being a negative planet for Taurus, Ascendant, and Moon sign, it's actually good when a negative planet for you is in a negative house. So overall, this is a good planet, a good transit for you, Taurus. So that's what I have for you. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. And I'll catch you in the next one, Taurus.